So I am back and I'm going to be doing a Q&A today. I asked you guys on Instagram, possibly just Instagram. Yeah, if you had any questions for me, and I actually got quite a few, so that was good. I kind of have half not AuPair related, but then I actually had a lot of AuPair related questions, so that will be kind of the second half of the questions. But yeah, let's just get started. So the first question that I got was, how many countries have you visited? And I had to sit through this one and think. Obviously, I was born and raised in Canada, so Canada, the USA, Mexico, France, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Switzerland, Germany, Austria, and I've spent probably days in the Amsterdam airport, so I'm gonna give myself like a half point for the Netherlands because I have spent so much time in that airport. I've never actually been outside of the walls of the airport in Amsterdam, but yeah, I'll just say like half a point for the Netherlands. The next question was, have I learned Spanish? This is actually a question that I don't love getting because I am a little disappointed in myself that I am not fluent in Spanish after basically all of the years that I've been traveling to Mexico, and then also living in Spain and traveling to Spain and having a lot of Spanish friends. I am not fluent in Spanish. However, I am able to get by, and I feel like my Spanish accent when I'm attempting to speak Spanish is not too bad, but then I get myself stuck because sometimes people think that I am fluent or understand what they're saying when I speak kind of like a child. So I'm not fluent, but I am still working on my Spanish, and one day I will be. Then I had a couple deep questions here from another former au pair, but I also said that these Q&As I'm going to keep anonymous just because I don't know if people want their names and usernames to be said on my channel. The next question was, what is my biggest struggle at the moment? I would say my biggest struggle at the moment would be trying to kind of narrow down my passions into basically ways of making money, kind of trying to find a way to have business or have a career with the passions that I have and that I've studied. Obviously, I have kind of a spectrum of things I'm really interested in. Childcare is obviously one which I have a lot of experience in, birth work, postpartum work, feminine health, specifically natural variations of women's health, obviously, yeah, female health. Nutrition is a huge one, also specifically plant-based nutrition. And yeah, so I kind of have a lot of different routes that I could possibly take with thinking about businesses or helping people, creating programs and that kind of a thing. So I would say my biggest struggle at the moment is trying to figure out how I can make money from my passions and which passion I kind of want to pursue more as a career. The next question was, what do I regret doing in the past 5 years? Also, a very deep question. It's funny, I was having this conversation with someone not too long ago, like a few weeks ago, and yeah, we were just talking about regrets and if we had them. And I have thought about this in the past, but to be totally honest, I don't think that I have any regrets. Just honestly, like when I look back at things, maybe I think I could have done differently, things I could have done differently. At the end of the day, I would not be exactly where I am right now had I not made those decisions and gone through those struggles. Yeah, so to be honest, what do I regret doing in the past 5 years? I'm going to say nothing. I think the only thing maybe I could say I regret is just the amount of like worrying and stress that I've put myself through over a lot of different things, basically everything in the last 5 years, worrying and stressing about it. And yeah, I guess I just regret putting myself through that, because in the end, everything is okay. I am in a good place right now, and if I knew that 5 years ago, then yeah, probably would have been a little bit easier. The next question is a fun one. What is your favorite thing to eat? I had Indian food for lunch today, which was phenomenal. I love cultural foods, so whether that be like Mexican food or Mediterranean dishes or Indian food or sushi. And yeah, honestly, like, I'm not very picky. And I love when other people cook for me, which I actually have more of in my life now. Lots of like friends and stuff all love to cook. So it's actually, yeah, really awesome to have a lot of people that like to cook and for other people. So I don't think I have a favorite. I just, anything that's vegan and gluten-free. Okay, so the next questions are the au pair questions, and I've written them down so that I don't miss any of them. The first question is, did you have a good time au pairing, and how long were you there? I mean, to keep this short, did I have a good time au pairing? It was okay. I loved my host baby, but if you've seen any of my previous au pair videos, you'll know that it was definitely a challenging time for me, just in terms of the family I was living with and that situation and those circumstances. So it was difficult, but it was okay. How long was I there? I was au pairing in Madrid for 5.5 months, but I was an au pair for 3 weeks before that for another family in the north of Spain. So in total, it was 6 or 7 months. What did you do in your free time? Again, if you've seen my previous au pairing videos, you'll know I didn't have any free time, which was kind of the problem, one of the problems. So in my free time, I looked after the baby. This next one I think is an important one. She asked, did you Skype the family you au paired for? And yes, I Skyped both of the families that I au paired for, and I would say you should not go work for a family abroad unless you have Skyped. I think it's super important to be as face-to-face in person with someone as you possibly can be while you're deciding if they are the right family and right fit for you. Also, it's nice to see the kids through the camera and yeah, go with your intuition. But yes, I would always highly recommend that you Skype with the families you're thinking of au pairing for. The next question is, how much were you paid? And I was paid 70 euros a week. Obviously, as an au pair, you typically live in the house with the family and they take care of food and living expenses. So because this is more of like an experiential kind of job, I think that 70 euros a week, if they are paying for your stay and your food and all of that, then I feel like it's reasonable. It's kind of just like a little bit of pocket money. So if you do have 2 or 3 days off a week, I mean, it should be enough to kind of be able to go out for dinners on your own sometimes. And if you're into going out, then having money for that. But yeah, so I guess it would have been like approximately 280 euros a month. And the final question is, did you or can you make lots of friends while living abroad? And I think this completely depends on the type of person you are, also what situation you're in. I did not make a lot of friends living abroad because, one, I didn't have free time, but two, it just depends on what kind of person you are. Like, I am definitely more introverted and I'm not really into clubbing and partying, so I wouldn't have met so many people in that scene while I was living in Madrid. But at the same time, the 2 people that I did meet, I absolutely love, and I still keep in contact with them. One of whom I visited in her home country of Austria, and yeah, I stayed with her, and it had been 2 years since we've seen each other, but it was great to catch up. And she was also working as an au pair in Madrid when we met. So yeah, I would say you can absolutely make a lot of friends while living abroad, and you can have a very extroverted, amazing social life while living abroad. But yeah, just kind of like look into Facebook groups for other au pairs in the area. Try and search up like hashtags on Instagram, and yeah, just kind of like put yourself out there. Honestly, social media is a great place to do it. And if you are like out there and go partying and clubbing, you're gonna meet probably like a ton of people. So yeah, I would say you can absolutely make a ton of friends while living abroad. So that is all for my little Q&A today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and if you have any more questions for me, leave them down below in the comments. I'll try and answer them, or I'll save them for another Q&A video. And also, if you have any video suggestions, please leave them down below in the comments.